Focus on Liberia. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Indeed, this is Focus on Liberia. My name is Anthony C. hosting. Today is FOL Spotlight, that is Focus on Liberia Spotlight. In today's edition of Focus on Liberia Spotlight, we are in conversation with Mr. Chiejua Roget Chie. He is the communication manager for an organization called Stand By Me. Again, folks, welcome to our broadcast. We are in conversation with the organization Stand By Me. Stand By Me is a non-governmental organization based in Liberia that is doing some work. They are doing a great job, and we talk to bring them here today to spotlight or to throw the spotlight on the organization, what kind of organization it is, what work are they doing, what are their successes and challenges, what are the opportunities they see, and we also want to know how they're getting the money to do all the work they are doing. And sometime in the show, we'll look at whether or not we can be able to contribute and how we can be able to do so. Welcome to the broadcast. Again, my name is Anthony C. and the program you are watching here is Focus on Liberia Spotlight. Without much ado, we will get started here so quickly. Well, Mr. Chiejua Roger Chie, welcome to Focus on Liberia. How you doing, my brother?
Thank you very much, Mr. Anthony. It's a pleasure to be hosted on one of the biggest platforms so far. We sincerely appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. He is the communication manager from that organization, Stand By Me. And Stand By Me is a Liberian owned and operated non governmental organization based in our country, Liberia. And they have been doing some work, and that is why we try here at Focus on Liberia to throw the spotlight on them. And that is what we do here at Focus on Liberia. We educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. And this is one of our promotional component of our goals here. And when we do that, we throw the spotlight on an organization, a Liberian, or any institution that is doing something extraordinary into our community in helping to better lives in Liberia. So let's get started, Mr. Chair. The organization Stand By Me. I like that name, Stand By Me. Tell us, what kind of organization is that? No, before we do that, let us know who you are. And though I said you the communication manager, what specifically do you do?
Stand by me. If are you speaking about my
Yes, let my
occupation as?
audience know you a little bit first. Who are you? Your role as communication manager. Please share that with us. Who are you, first of all, and your role as communication manager, please?
Okay, I am Chejua Roger Chie, and I'm currently the communications manager at the Stand By Me Liberia, or Stand By Me Incorporated. It is labeled when registered. And currently, I'm focused with disseminating information of such as it is at the moment, and as well, I'm in the capacity to inform the public about Stand By Me's workings, its challenges, its gains so far that we have achieved over the period of time. So a couple of work to do, but currently that's what I am, and that's what I am doing at the moment.
All right. Thank you so very much. So let's come to the organization Stand By Me. I'm sure many of my listeners might be hearing this name for the first time. What kind of organization is Stand By Me?
Our Stand By Me is a non-governmental organization, specifically a charity organization that works with, that is involved with charity works. And we at Stand By Me believe that charity works, these works are a foundation to individuals and as well as community development. So we do this work by adapting developmental and social solidarity projects, and as well as raising up the educational and social and cultural level of, our targets, which are young, disadvantaged young children, women, young people as well, that we are seen as our targets. So we do that under the framework of democracy, social justice, and as well as equal opportunity.
Thank you so very much. So let's look at where is your focus specifically in what, tell us your focus.
So currently we are focused, our focus, targeted focus right now is young children. Our target focus is children, our young people, and women. Specifically, these are our focus at the moment.
All right. So your targeted population, you said young people, children, for the most part, any age range that you're looking at?
No, we are not. We are not looking at the a specific age range. We are looking at once you fall in the category of child, we consider you as our target, and as well as young people and women.
All right, let's come to the work that you do. Share with my audience here, what type of work that you do with these children in Liberia.
Basically, Stand By Me have been working. It is an organization that was founded September 2019, and it was not long before the world got hit with COVID-19. So Stand By Me has in her cycle been able to achieve a couple of things over the period of time. But notwithstanding, we are focused with education. We are focused with healthcare. We are as well focused with a couple of things that we consider as our pillars, as our value statement. So at the moment, we are focused with education, sexual reproductive health, climate change, water, hygiene, and sanitation. We are focused with women, the economy, and as well as democracy, women, democracy, and economy, and the elimination or curtailing of sexual gender-based violences across the country. That's what we focus with at the moment.
So you don't go into the area of education?
We listed education. That's one of our cardinal pillars at the moment.
Okay, education is so let's talk about education. What specific education needs that you are meeting for the young people?
So at the moment, like I said, Stand By Me is a newly formed organization that we have had challenges of support over the period of time. So we desire looking beyond just making provisions of many school materials for kids. We were looking beyond, going beyond just providing book bags, book pens, pencil for kids across the country or our specific targets. So in our circle, for the period of time that we have been existing, and with the limited support that we've received over the period of time, we were able to, in early 2020, we were able to spark a particular number of children that we consider as those ones that were needed of school materials. So at that point in time, we were able to make provisions of bags and some school materials for them. It did not go across that area. We identify those ones because, like I said, we've struggled with the issue of partnership. And so we are always working our cycles to make provisions of these needed things that we need or that we think that our targets need. So early 2020, we were able to make provisions of the books and the books and the book bag, and those were made for those specific students that we or children that we by. And as you saw in the pictures I was sent you, and then that was the same with what we did in Mount Barkley. So we identified people. Now we could not just go up and say, okay, we will reach out to a specific 1,500, 1,005 persons. No, we have not been funded. So we only work with what we have in our circles as members and management team, as well as the CEO. So, the program manager who is then headed, the program department rather, which is then headed by Mrs. Olivia Sharif. Once we come up with these, ideas that we bring and think that we have to identify a particular number of people, these are the ones we reach out to, because that's where our resources at the moment could be able to reach. And so we were able to make available few clothes. For those ones that we felt were needed of those materials, we made available those ones. So it was not long before we experienced the issue of COVID-19. So as our way of getting involved, we came up with a jingle message that was being played on ECOWAS radio that made it very clear and empathetically clear about some health measures and not considering COVID as being political driven as others may have it in Liberia from the onset, and that we should respect health protocols as well. And so this message was being passed on, and we engaged communities with the message at the moment. That's what we, in our capacity, were able to do. And so we even went ahead with the issue about June 16, African Child Day. That was our first partnership at that moment. We partnered with a group called Females in Sierra Leone, FISIL for sure. We were able to, commemorate African Child Day this on June 16, and we were able to enlighten the students about, or the kids at the moment, and few parents that were invited, enlightening those ones about the significance of African child, the significance of, not allowing those kids to be just breadwinner, but as well allowing them to see if they can be able to meet their full potential by getting a leader education. And at the end of the program, we also had a segment for sexual and gender-based violences and as to how to report them. And then later we were able to do distributions of few books, book bags, pencils, and the rest. So in our capacity, that's what we feel we could do at the moment with the limited resources that we have.
Thank you so very much. Stay on the education here. Besides providing educational materials, the little you've been able to do so far, how many schools did you work with? And did you attempt providing tuition for them, or you only provided educational materials?
Again, we being a newly formed organization with the limited resources, like I said, we only earmark individuals that we feel are needed of those materials. We are looking at the fact that we cannot just go out of bigger institution and make donations with those limited donations that we had, to make those donations to schools, and at the end of the day you will make provisions of these donations to some students and you will not be able to make provisions to some. So in our mind, in our thoughts, our mindset, we felt that what is best is identify those ones that we feel in our mind would be needed of those materials and make provisions. But we look forward to working, and that is why we have one of our biggest projects, Liberia School Book and School Project Phase 1, which will be able to allow us to reach up to 85 schools in 4 counties. And that project is where this is going to be Stand By Me first biggest project so far. We intend to reach about 85 schools in Monserrado, in Margibi, in Bonn, and as well as Bomi. So if you look at those countries that we named, we looked at the fact that Bomi and Margibi in Liberia was hard hit, or has been hard hit with the issue of COVID. So we feel moving to the schools, into that country rather, and making provisions with the number of schools that we have on our decks. At least we can be able to make an impact so far.
Thank you. Again, folks, you are watching Focus on Liberia. The program you are watching is called FOL Spotlight. That is Focus on Liberia Spotlight. During the program, we put a spotlight on an organization, an individual, or any group that try to do something extraordinary to improve the life of others or make an impact into the larger community. And today we are having a conversation with a non-governmental organization, Liberian owned and operated in Liberia, called Stand By Me. The representative we have here speaking to us is Mr. Chijwa Roger Chie. Mr. Chie is the communication manager of Stand By Me. Before we go to the successes and challenges that we have, you have, let's talk about the hygiene. You talked about hygiene earlier as one of the things or areas that you are trying to see if you can provide some relief. Tell me why you think hygiene is important.
Hygiene is cardinally important at the moment, especially with a society like Liberia that we find ourselves. Now, this is considered in just every aspect. Now, the country, the world at large is hit with COVID-19. And as a matter of fact, there are few health protocols that have been installed or put into place. If you carefully watch that, it's much hygienic if you observe these, protocols, health protocols, and manner in which it saves you. So we feel that we at SBM will have hygiene as one of our pillars for 2020 up to 2023. And we see it to be very important at the moment, very, very much important, because it has a lot to do with our lives and our well-being as well. So we see it to be very, very important, seriously.
All right. My final question on your work here before we go to the challenges and successes you've had so far will be why you chose this line of work.
Actually, if you look at the fundamental behind why we chose charity, we at SBN, from the onset of our conversation, we made it clear that we see our charity works as the foundation to individual and community development. Now, if you look at, there are a couple of organizations in Liberia that are involved with charity works, but some have their attention to different aspects of their work. So we at SBN feel that we can be able to boost up the workforce that we have that are, strictly focused on charity. And looking at the society at the moment, societal ills affiliated, we feel in our mind that we can be an addition to the numerous non-governmental organizations or charity organizations that are fostering and helping, fostering government's effort to meet up the needs of those ones. And if you look at in much society, we look at children, we look at women, we look at young people. These are ones that we see as needed of attention. Now, if you take for instance, with respect to children, if you being a typical Liberian, you understand that in most cases, it's a custom that our child will not be in school when it's regular school hour. You find that child selling, trying to make provision of making an ends able to change that mindset of parents and to ensure that these ones can be able to, send the kids to school, let them be able to achieve their full potential, because these are ones we consider as our next leaders. Now, if you look at young people for a fact, we are at a serious disadvantage point, not as compared to women do, but we young people are at the point we are at a serious disadvantage point, because currently Liberia is experiencing the issue of politics. We are in the heat of politics in Liberia. Now you will realize that with our attention being given to our young people, we will be able to shape their attention, their decision making, and as well as help them to achieve their full potential through empowerment and other scheme programs that will be coming up. And as well as women to ensure that they do not always fall victim of sexual gender-based violence. So we have a so good reason to get ourselves involved into this work. That's why we come into play with the issue of partnership. You see, Mr. C, at the moment, even organizations with the biggest dreams in the world cannot succeed or reach those marks, especially knowing the fact that they have been limited in resources and as well as, donors. We at SBM want to do our best to ensure that we become the leading organizations that will be able to be functional in our work. We want to do our best to ensure that, all of our pillars be, actively achieved. Now, if you look at cooperative for a fact, we can join this movement, all of us individually. That's why I told a friend of mine that if you in the USA feel that I can make an impact to Liberia, If you send $20 Liberian, like for example, Stand By Me currently has a book and school project that will be able to reach out to allow, kids have their school materials for newly academic year or new academic year. So when we're able to make these provisions, you realize that will help in some way to allow that child achieve his full potential educationally, and that child will be able to reach out in society and become successful. Now, in one way, we have moved one step to eliminating poverty. Now, if I stand in the United States of America and say, hey, I will be able to send $20 Liberian, $20 Liberian is a lot. You realize that in our estimates that we made, $20 Liberian is almost going to get you 2 packs of pencils. We'll be able to make that donation to more than a school or possibly to individuals that we feel will be needed of that. And in the end, we'll be able to move and have a step forward to achieving this goal of eradicating poverty across the country. Now, we can only do that if we are able to empower, transform educationally, and be able to recalibrate what our targets are, be able to transform them into the people we want them to be, so that they will be able to achieve their full potential. With that, we can be able to achieve whatever SBN pillar is for 20, or SBN pillars are for 2020 up to 2023. So by being partner, you have moved a huge step with involving into the movement for the ending of poverty in Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You couldn't emphasize it enough. Partnership is good, but since you've been, maybe we'll talk that on successes and challenges. So let's make progress. Again, folks, you are watching Focus on Liberia. This is our program, FOL Spotlight, a program we use to throw the spotlight on an organization, an individual, on a group that is doing something extraordinary in improving lives and in Liberia. All right, let's come to successes and challenges. Anybody, any organization, any group, there will be successes. There will be some challenges as well. You've been around not too long, but at least for some time now. What are some of the successes you had so far that you want to share with my audience?
We have achieved so far successful in at least with the main work that we've done. But one of our biggest achievement that we at SBN feel is to identify where we need to make an impact. We've seen, with our involvement with communities and with society on this side, we see our biggest areas that we need to make an improvement, need to show our emphasis and contributions to, so that we can be able to have, a positive change. For example, if you look at currently, we've seen the need to show strong emphasis on the issue of sexual gender-based violences, because if you follow up the reports of recent, you'll see the level to which the cases were being reported. We at SBN feel that it is an accomplishment to have seen where our strategies that we need to put into place, that this issue of rape is not customized into handling, customized into let's handle it the family way, but we feel that we can be able to structure, for example, sexual gender-based clubs in schools and communities that will be able to far-fetch report these issues quickly without even, getting the involvement of somebody who's going to say, let's handle it the family way. So, like I said, we have achieved a little over the donations of bags, over the donations of, clothes, many clothes. We're able to, achieve with the contribution, our input with COVID's message, a celebration of African Child, a couple of other projects that we've done. But one of which we see as a plus is to identify places that we need to show our emphasis and our strength as an organization.
Thank you so very much. So, I said earlier, anybody for that matter, any organization, they will have successes, and yet there will be challenges. What are the challenges that Stand By Me is fixing right now in Liberia as it continues its work in meeting the needs of the young in Liberia?
So at the moment, our biggest challenge is partnership. Okay. Currently, our biggest challenge is partnership. In as much as we continue to receive the needed partnership, the needed donations for our work, we believe that, we will be able to achieve the mold. We'll be able to achieve just as we want it, just as what our strategies or our pillars have for us for 2020 up to 2023. Now, take for an example, if you look at the phase one of our spoken school project, we can achieve this project and be a plus, right? Especially knowing that it will be able to impact the educational life of those that we will be meeting. Now, take for an example, the program committee, the program department at SBM decided that, oh, okay, since school started and in second semester, COVID hit, government abruptly stopped school. And then later, the government saw that there was a need to reopen school. Uh, the program department said, okay, so let's come up with a kind of strategy. Since government reopened school, parents will be paying the remaining fees left. And that in no time, school will have to close and school will have to reopen for new academic year. Parents again will be able to pay, will be allowed of, will be demanded to pay for a new academic year, not considering the economic challenges that COVID has, installed on our people. Right. So we feel that if parents are working with the issue of arrears, we can be able to step in with the mini donations that we have with the books, the pencils, the rainbow sheets, the notes marks. We will be able to step in that regard. So when you look at the basis for the basis from which they came up with this project, you see that they had the dream to make an impact. But we cannot achieve this in the absence of funds. We cannot achieve this in the absence of no donation. Because we've everything that we've achieved over the period of time has always been what we are able to generate within our circle. And it is not enough. It is not enough to get us achieving the way we want to achieve. So this has become our biggest challenge at the moment, and that we have to call, write letters to many Liberians, non-governmental organizations or other institutions, and be asking them that you need to help us, please, so that we can be able to reach out to these areas. Because exactly what we have for the estimate for this book and school project is one. That's what we intend doing. Until we can have a fixed donor, we can have, a stable donor will be able to help us. Look, we gave you the funds. We need an accountability for these funds, and we prepare. We prepare to do the work, and we prepare to make whatever accountability, clear on the deck, so you can be able to understand that we came in with the right motive. So, that has actually been our greatest challenge at the moment as SBM.
I can imagine that so very much. The challenges are all over the place. It doesn't matter where you are. But only those who meet those challenges can make a difference, and that is why the organization is trying all it can to do in Liberia. Folks, this is Focus on Liberia Spotlight. We are in conversation with the communication manager of Stand By Me Liberia. It's a non-governmental organization, Liberian owned and operated, that is placing a focus on young children in Liberia in the area of education, hygiene, and sexual and gender-based violence issues in Liberia. And they are doing all they can, but he's saying there are challenges. So let me also know, do you have an office in Liberia? Do you have the necessary uh, administrative materials that you need to get around? How is it looking at that end administratively?
Yeah, we have an office in Liberia, and the office located in Bartnersville, opposite Area E. Now, with respect to office equipment, like I said, everything that we do at SBM is just within our circle. We're grateful to, the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Jenkins Chia, who has actually been of huge help with respect to the donations made at the office here. So we do not have just all of the relevant equipment that should allow us work, but we improvise because we came for a cause, right? We cannot just burden everything and choose not to work at all only because we have huge challenges around the place. So we try to improvise the much we can and the best way we can to see if we can still in our challenges be able to make an impact. So we have a challenge right now with our movement. So just imagine if Stand By Me will need to reach out to Bombay County, that means we have to rent a vehicle because Stand By Me, we have an issue with motor vehicle. We do not have a means of transportation. So as a result, we have to I mean, maybe if we want to make an impact in Bomi, we'll have to charter. Maybe we want to drop a letter at Broad Street in Liberia. We have to drop a ride or keke. But we have an office, gratefully, we have an office at Tusapi opposite Area E. And the little, office equipment that we have, we feel in our best way, we can use them to be able to reach out to people as much as we can and make an impact in whatever way we're able, that our resources can be able to reach out to.
Thank you. Very soon we'll be getting to your budget for your upcoming project. We will go into that budget and see how much is that budget, what are the things that you're looking at, and what you want to do with those. But let's talk about opportunities. We talk about success. You have some successes that you narrated cleverly. You also cleverly narrated the challenges that you are facing and all you're doing to overcome them. Let's come to opportunities you see in Liberia as you do this work. Are there any opportunity that you see that motivating you to continue this work? Share with us those opportunities that you see in your line of work.
It is an opportunity for us to get involved, but we do not see as an opportunity for those that are victimized. Okay. For example, if you look at our pillars that is involved with education, that is involved with empowerment, involved with working with disadvantaged young people, children and women, society like Liberia will not be 100% free of these challenges. So we tend to continue to work. These are motivating and driving forces that keep allowing us to see that, hey, we need to work. Because get to imagine, if you look at the issue, I just want to use rape case as a case scenario. Okay. Now, if you look at the issue of the wild wave of rape cases that were being reported in Liberia, I stand to be corrected, but we have over 900 plus since the outbreak in Liberia. 900 plus reported cases in Liberia. Now, somebody may feel that let's handle this from the family area or from the family side, or let's handle it the family way, or let's look at the person wore a short skirt. These are some, jabbed excuses that has been made. But it broke me to understand, or we at SBN, it broke us to understand that even kids of less than a year old was raped. There was a kid, a child was raped, and even blade being used so that the fellow who did the rape to have an easy penetration. These are things that we need to get our hands on. Let these people be, dealt with according to the law for what they have done. We are now working toward ensuring that the justice system works. That's not what we're doing. But then what happens to that child after that situation? We even watched a live that talked about a kid who narrated a story of being raped, and it was kept undercover, and she got pregnant and gave birth, and they sent the child in the interior, and the child had to be there. Now she left school and left everything that should have made her a fully potential lady in society. Now she had to take care of her kid after being raped. Now, these cultures, these customs of handling these situations as family issue, or, there are a couple of things we need to look at so that we can be able to impact the lives of those who are disadvantaged or who are at a disadvantageous point of sexual gender-based violences across the country. So we see it as an opportunity to work more. We see it as an opportunity as a driving force, but it is not an opportunity for those ones who are victimized from these situations. So we see too many opportunities in Liberia to work with, and we consider that as a driving force. We at SBN.
And talking about opportunities still, will you say parents who are not hiding away from telling you their kids needs to go to school, and children also willing to go to school, as maybe two of the opportunities, the parent come in and saying, hey, I have a need yet, I have my child, I want the child to go to school, and the child is saying, yeah, I want to go to school, but my parents don't have the money. Is that an opportunity that keep you, on your feet and wanting to help?
That's another opportunity. For a fact, that's another opportunity. Because currently, let me be honest with you and let you know that we see, we at SBN see it as it's going to be a challenge, a huge challenge for parents this upcoming academic year.
Right.
Because I bet even currently, not all of the students are back in school because when COVID hit, institutions that parents were at, some of those institutions closed down. Some of them cut down staff. Some of them closed down, and they cut down non-essential staff, as they call it. But those were the means by which the parents were able to generate funds and make, tuition payment available for their kids. Now they've been cut down. Now all of the fees of money that parents had in their savings, when COVID hit, everybody got afraid. Like, let's go and get the food, let's get medication. Now everything left on food and medication. Now, with these constraints that they have, now you just reopen school. School reopens. They have to pay the balances of the fees that they owe for second semester. In no time, they'll have to pay for pay for new academic year. How do they meet up with those challenges that they have? So we that are working as charity organizations, because Stand By Me are not the only organizations that we feel are working in such a direction. So all of us, all organizations that are working, Stand By Me specifically, we can be able to step in, right? With this mini project that we have on the hand, in as much as we have donors, we have pending projects on the book that will be able to at most make available scholarship, that will be able to make available at least even that 100% scholarship, but we can be able to make, a financial aid for those who will be in school, especially looking at the challenges our parents are going to have. So when we look at these challenges, we look at everything around us. It's like Liberia as a society needs serious help, and needs help. This help can only come from charity organizations like Stand By Me and other well-meaning organizations that are making high-hitch impact in Liberia. And that's why we feel that charity work is the foundation for individual and community development.
Thank you so very much again, folks. We are in conversation with Mr. Chie. He is Chijwa Roger Chie, the communication manager for Stand By Me Liberia. Stand By Me Liberia is a Liberian-owned and operated non-governmental organization that places its focus on young children in Liberia in the area of education, hygiene, and sexual and gender-based violence. They have been doing all they can in their power to meet the needs of the young people, especially in those areas that are listed earlier. Well, Mr. Chair, the work that you are doing is so ambitious. It requires a lot of money, and let's come to funding. So first of all, how is the organization being funded? I know you try to talk about it, but I mean, for the record, how is the organization being funded?
So at the moment, like I said, we've always worked in our circle. Our circle has always been, we at SBM, trying to see if we can maneuver within our circle with the involvement of the CEO, who has been a huge help to the organization, and as well as the 7-man management team that is down here, headed by Mr. John Travers. We've been able to work in our circles to ensure that whatever we need with respect to making up the impact, we can be able to generate within ourselves or among ourselves. So,
can you say, Mr. Chair, can you say that funding is one of the challenges that you have had over the time?
Yes, that's why we said partnership, donors, involvement. So funding is something that we see as a huge challenge at the moment.
All right now I'm showing a budget that you crafted. And this budget estimate for items for books and school project. This is phase 1. Is this for the academic year that's just starting?
We're looking forward at making an impact for the new academic year. It's not been confirmed, but what we're getting is that early December is going to be a reopen for schools the new academic year. So we're looking at this project for the new academic year.
And I see the grand total. I'm displaying the budget on the screen here for my audience to see. I see the grand total here is $6,973 US. And in this budget, you are looking at books, you are looking at pens, you are looking at pencils, you are looking at rainbow sheet, you are looking at gasoline, you are looking at lodging for 6 days, you're looking at feeding, you're looking at publicity. So walk me through this budget in terms of the breakdown, why this budget?
This is to show you that we try to be transparent when it comes to our finances and how we do our work. Mm-hmm. If you look at this project carefully, we are intending to meet about 85 schools, and according to what our program department here are trying to plan, that is being headed by Mr. Olivia Sharif, we intend to meet schools in Monserrado, in Margidi, in Bombing, and as well as Bond County. Now, if you look at this budget, we feel that we can be able to make a many of a cartoon of book for a particular school, and we can be able to make donations of pen, to make donations of pencil, a rim of sheets, notes marks as well, to each of those schools, each of the 85 schools that we're going to meet. Now, the management team, in collaboration with the program office, they're working highly to ensure that those schools that are being met, we can be able to have them, informed ahead of time. Now, if you look at this budget carefully, you understand that in phase one, we talk about cartoons of both. Yeah. Now, we talk about 85 cartoons. We're looking at 85 cartoons of books to be met, and the funds there is $2,550. We look at pens, 85 cartoons as well, $340. We look at pencil, 85 cartoons as well, 595, and the list goes on.
And so if you look at this
project, right, the list goes on. So if you look at this project, this is the extent to which we've reached. SBN, like we said.
But Mr. Chair, I don't mean to interrupt you, Mr. Chair. I see gasoline here. Why gasoline in this budget?
We have gasoline in place into the budget because, like we said, SBN do not have a funding source, right? Okay. SBN do not have a funding source. Now, we have this budget displayed, but trust me, whatever we be able to accumulate at the time frame that we have to have donations coming in for this project, that's exactly what we're going to work with. Like we said, we are not going to use our challenges to limit our workings. We're always going to work in as much as funds are made available or not. We work within our cycles to ensure that we'll be able to make available what we're able to make for those needy ones. So gasoline, like we said, transportation is one of our major problems. Now, if we'll be able to get a vehicle, Stand By Me felt that within our cycle, we can be able to get a rented vehicle. Now, these rented vehicles will be requesting gasoline. So that is why you see gasoline there. The gasoline will be able to aid us, gas those vehicles that we'll be able to use for the 4 counties and the number of days that we're going to spend in those 4 counties. So that is why you see gasoline placed within our budget.
Thank you so very much again, folks in cyberspace. This is Focus on Liberia, and you are watching our program, FOS Spotlight, that is Focus on Liberia Spotlight. In this program, we place the spotlight on one of our own, a Liberian, any individual for that matter, an organization or a group that is doing something extraordinary in meeting the needs of our people, or trying to just make this world a better place for all of us. In this case, the spotlight is on Stand By Me, a Liberian-owned and operated non-governmental organization based in Liberia. And again, the name is Stand By Me Liberia, where you want to stand by Stand By Me. I'm going to stand by Stand By Me or with Stand By Me, and I can promise that. Folks, the organization needs your contribution, your voluntary contribution. On the screen, as you can see there, the means to contribute to the organization is right there on the screen, and the organization would appreciate whatever little you can appreciate or you can spare or share with them. This is their budget that they are looking at. They are looking at 30 cartoons, 85 cartoons of books, valued at 2,550 United States dollars. They are looking at 85 packs, I would say, of pens valued at $340. That is United States dollars. They are looking at 45 packs of pencil as well, which is valued at $595. You see the list goes on and on. And if any of these things that you can pick up as an individual to contribute to, Stand By Me, we definitely appreciate that. And the grand total for this budget is $6,973. That is the budget of Stand By Me, and it is a Liberian owned and operated non-governmental organization in Liberia. Their focus is in education for young people, and also they are looking at hygiene issue, sexual and gender-based violence. They have been doing the line of work for some time now, and they are self-funded for the most part. Their challenges are partnership, funding. These are the challenges they face. But they see a lot of opportunities, according to the communication manager here, Mr. Che. They see the opportunities such as young people willing to be in school, parents willing to also allow their children to go to school, but they don't have the hand. And that's where the organization steps in and saying, hey, we can help you, but they can't just do it alone. Let me show you something also, those of you watching us here. Uh, Besides the, so look on the screen right there. This is the way you can reach out to this organization to contribute. They have their cash app. And the cash app, as you can see on the screen, is the $ Stand By Me. Or you can use the number 43423 732 4. Sorry, someone distracted me there. 423 732 4215. And they have their mobile money donation option, which is a phone number +231 888 544 101. And they have their orange money donation means or phone number. That number is +231 775 878 421. To reach out to this organization, their web address, which is their website, is sbmliberia.com. That is standbymeliberia.com. It has been abbreviated sbmliberia.com. The email address is sbmliberia@gmail.com. Whatever you can do to contribute to this institution that is trying to meet the needs of the young in Liberia will be definitely and highly appreciated, because funding is one of their challenges and we all must be able to support them. If you are watching this program, anybody who will be watching this program after the show will also be on YouTube, and you run into it and you want to contribute, all the means to contribute to the work of Stand By Me can be seen right there on the screen, and you can just go to their website. Their contact information can also be found. You can reach out to them and contribute as much as you can, and it will be definitely appreciated. My name is Anthony Sie. I'm a host here at Focus on Liberia, and the program you are watching is FOL Spotlight. That is Focus on Liberia Spotlight, where we focus on an individual, an institution, or a group that trying to do something extraordinary in Liberia. My guest, Mr. Chiejua Roger Chie. I like your name, Chiejua Roger Chie. He is the communication manager at Stand By Me in Liberia. Mr. Chie, any final thing that you want to share with our people? We just share with them how they can reach out to you, how they can contribute. Maybe you can chip in with your own words, how their contribution will be of much help to you, and maybe how they can do it in addition to what I've just said. Please go.
Liberia needs all of us at the moment. Mm-hmm. If you look at the challenges that we have in our society, you can tell to some extent that if each of us are mending ourselves together as an individual, non-governmental organizations, governmental institutions, you realize that if each of us are making sincere efforts, we're making an impact, we will be able to achieve and have a transformed society. SBN endeavors doing this work to the letter. There's not an organization that want to work for a year or two and subsequently expire. No. And as much as challenges, society continues to experience these challenges that Stand By Me works are fulfilled with, we intend to continue our work for as much as these challenges goes on. So it is all of us business to have, our generation or the next generation, or the young people, the women, the children as well, to get themselves actively potential to achieve their self-worth in society. So we cannot do this by just identifying that, hey, this person needs to go to school. Now, we identify that that person needs to go to school. How do we get that person to school? Some of them, now that parents don't want to help, but parents are not capacitated to help, like the constraints we have in the economy at the moment. So some parents would, it beats their imagination, it weighs their heart down to see that their kids are not in school, but they can't do any other. They will have to watch them and let the life take its course. So if we are stepping in as an individual, as a non-governmental organization, as charity groups, or whatever in our capacity, once we step in, if we cannot get to, let's make our donations through organizations that are making an impact. And one way or the other, we are also making an impact. So these parents are not happy to see those kids, their kids being, at home. So all of us, we need to gather our hands together, grab each other firmly, and see by our many donations, by our involvement, by our even our advances that we will be able to place to organizations like Stand By Me or other organizations that are involved with the work. At least we can be able to achieve the potential. Like Mr. Sear, like you said, these are the ways to get our donations, get your donations coming in. We have the cash app that is being displayed, that was displayed on the screen. You'll have the mobile money system for those of our friends in Liberia, even those of our friends in the USA. And there are means of mobile money system in the USA that you can make your donations through Orange Money. I mean, just whatever way you feel you can be able to donate. I don't want you to see it like it's being limited, because if you give $20, in our estimate here, we have $4 for a cartoon of pen. Now, if you are to give $10 US as your own means of contribution, you realize that you have just bought close to 2 cartons of pen. You have made a mark. So we're not saying that when we say we need funds, we need somebody who's going to call us and say, give us 1,000, give us 5,000. No, that's not it. The little we can, the little we can be able to donate to the organization for its work, so that we can be able to get into the field and meet our target people or our target group, that can be able to make a transformed society like Liberia.
All right, folks, there you have it. You heard it from the house's mouth. The man, Chejua Roger Che, he is the communication manager of Stand By Me Liberia. I love that name. I mean, who doesn't want to stand by somebody they care about? In this case, Stand By Me is standing by the Liberian children. And so, if you love the children of Liberia, you want to stand with or by Stand By Me. On this note, folks, we can't say thank you enough for staying with us through our broadcast here. I focus on Liberia. Yeah, I focus on Liberia. We educate, we elevate, and we promote all the good things about Liberia. And more than me, I can assure you, I mean, not more than me, Stand By Me, sorry, Stand By Me is one of the good things that is happening to Liberia. The organization is in the area of education, hygiene, sexual and gender-based violence against young people, and trying to impact their life in a positive direction so that they can become adults useful to our society for us to have a better country like Liberia. And there's anything you can do. You just heard it from the house's mom. He said even $20 will get around or more than 2 packs of pen. Because I think a pack of pen is around $4 US. So if you spend $20, you will be buying more than 4 to 5 packs of pen. And that they will definitely appreciate. The same can be said about pencil and books and other institutional materials. Their budget is around $6,000. If you are a rich guy listening to us, just write that check to Stand By Me. If you will be watching later, do the same thing. My name is Anthony Sien, and I brought you this program here at Focus on Liberia. Rogers, your parting words so we can call it a day.
I would like, we at the management at Stand By Me would like to extend the deepest appreciation to Focus on Liberia for the opportunity given us to, reach out to the multitude of people that you have on your platform, Liberians and those out of Liberia, that they will be able to see that there is an organization that endeavors reaching out the needs and of young people, of women, and as well as children. We want to thank you ever so much. We sincerely appreciate it. We look forward to more of these interviews in subsequent time. Again, we'd like to also appreciate the sincere effort of the management team headed by Mr. John Travers, and as well as thank ever so much to our energetic and hard-working program manager who has been working and strategizing every means possible that within our limited resources, we can be able to reach out to the number of persons that we are able to reach out to. We want to thank our partners, those not our partners, but our prospective partners, our prospective donors. We want to say thank you ever so much. We look forward to your many donations, your whatever donations you're going to send us, trust us, is going to be used for the said purpose, and we're going to reach out to the needed people that we need to reach out to. We thank you ever so much, and words can express how grateful we are for this opportunity.
His name is Chejua Roger Che, Communication Director, Stand By Me in Liberia, and I have been your host, Anthony C. here at Focus on Liberia. This will conclude our program, FOL Spotlight. I have a song for you, fellow Liberians, and I will continue to remind you about this song, because that song said we are all Liberians. It doesn't matter where you are. And more, Stand By Me is Liberian owned and operated. Will you stand by and wave Stand By Me? But maybe the song will remind you to stand and by Stand By Me. That is the name of the organization. Stand By Me in Liberia. Are you a Liberian? And you want to stand by and wave Stand By Me? To do that, there are numbers on the screen. $10, even $5, $20 will help them to get the books, the pencils, and the copybooks and pens and other educational materials the young ones in Liberia need to stay in school. You will be making a meaningful contribution. Thank you. Listening to that song. And tell me, Anthony, thank you for sharing that song later. Bye-bye, folks.
We are Liberian.